People close to Meghan have started whispering things they never imagined they'd have to say out loud. They're not talking about her glamorous public image or the polished way she carries herself at events. No, this time the whispers are darker, heavier, the kind that make people lower their voices and glance over their shoulders as if the truth itself might burn someone. Because according to them, Meghan's struggles are no longer something she can hide behind designer dresses, rehearsed smiles, and carefully curated photos. The cracks she once covered so fiercely are spreading so fast, so visibly, that even strangers are starting to notice. This isn't the Meghan the world thinks they know. This is a Meghan whose emotional battles, private habits, and messy reality are bursting through the seams she's been desperately trying to stitch together. And the night everything truly began falling apart, it's one people still can't stop talking about. A glamorous party, the kind where everyone pretends to be perfect, the lights are soft enough to blur imperfections, and the music buzzes just enough to make even nobodies feel important. Meghan swept in like she always does, poised, elegant, glowing, like she had walked off the cover of a magazine. People noticed her instantly. They always do. But as the night unfolded, something in her shifted, almost like the mask she wore every day got tired before she did. Witnesses say Meghan wasn't just enjoying a drink, she was clinging to it, living in it, letting it swallow her hour after hour. Her laugh got sharper, harsher, her voice grew louder, her steps slowed, then stumbled. And then came the comments, those comments. At first, people chuckled awkwardly, thinking she was joking or simply being dramatic, but she wasn't joking. And soon, the room's energy changed. Meghan started talking about Harry, not in the sweet, protective way she usually presents him in public. Instead, she spilled deeply personal, painfully intimate things, details no partner ever once repeated, especially not in a room full of onlookers. Each time she lifted her glass, her words got sharper, heavier, less filtered. People around her started backing away, drifting toward the far corners of the room, pretending to check their phones, desperate to escape the tension. It wasn't just a bad moment, it was the first sign that Meghan wasn't just stressed or overwhelmed. She was unraveling in real time, and nobody, not even Harry, could stop it. But what people didn't know that night was that this wasn't some random slip. Behind the scenes, those closest to her had been seeing the signs for months. They say Meghan drinks throughout the day, not casually, not socially, but constantly. Not after lunch, not in the evenings all day. She reportedly tells herself it's normal, the kind of thing wealthy women do, a lifestyle choice she doesn't owe anyone an explanation for. But the people around her, they've been worried. Worried enough, insiders claim, to approach her 2, even 3 different times about going to rehab. They tried gently, they tried carefully, but she refused every time. She insisted she was fine, insisted she was in control, insisted everyone else was exaggerating. But the signs were too obvious to ignore anymore. The long afternoons where she would vanish into her room, the phone calls where her words slurred slightly, the nights she wasn't able to drive, the mornings where she seemed distant, irritated, distracted. The denial became more and more heartbreaking because the people who cared the most about her say she can't even see what's happening to herself. Instead, she hides behind luxury, polished statements, expensive clothes, and a curated lifestyle that fools everyone except the ones living closest to her. And the saddest part, the ones who feel it the most are her children. For someone who posts perfect family photos, people would assume she put special care into raising her kids. But insiders paint a much different picture behind those polished images. Those around their home say the kids often look disheveled, not in the usual cute, messy child way, but in a way that feels overlooked, ignored even. They say little Lilibet, who should be around 4.5 years old, has been seen wearing a diaper that looked soiled. At her age, she shouldn't even be in diapers anymore. Yet she's often seen in the same cheap pajamas over and over again, the kind of worn out pair you'd expect to see once, not in every sighting. And then there's the strangest detail people keep whispering about Lilibet's wig. A wig that looks tangled, unbrushed, forgotten. While Meghan herself steps out flawless, every strand of hair perfectly in place, it raises questions nobody wants to ask out loud. As for Archie, observers say he is always seen wearing the same small black shoes with white soles. The same pair every single time. No variety, no change. Not the kind of outfit rotation kids normally have, especially with parents who can afford anything. Meanwhile, Meghan steps out in clothing worth thousands. But it doesn't stop there. Sources claim Harry barely talks to the kids. Meghan, too. Instead, it's the assistants, friends, or Marcus Anderson, the mysterious presence in their home, who actually spend time speaking to them. It's like the family is drifting apart while the two adults at the center of it are losing control of their own lives. And just when things couldn't look any more fragile, the one person who always stood by Meghan, the one who saw through everything, tried one last time to save her. Her mother, Doria. Sources say Doria approached Meghan out of love, out of fear for her daughter's health, fear for her grandchildren, fear for the home spiraling deeper into dysfunction. At first, she tried gently, urging Meghan to seek help, telling her the drinking was getting out of hand, that the mood swings were becoming alarming. But Meghan pushed back hard. She refused help. She refused to admit anything was wrong. She refused even when her own mother begged her. What started as concern turned into a heated argument, one of the biggest between them. Doria, exhausted and heartbroken, had seen the warning signs long before the rest of the world. She wanted Meghan to go to rehab, to step away from the chaos, to take a breath and regain control. But Meghan didn't want to hear it. Not from her mother, not from anyone. After that confrontation, insiders say something shifted. Doria pulled back slightly, no longer able to carry the emotional burden alone. Meghan grew defensive, the house grew colder, and when even the one person who's always fought for you steps back, you know things are truly falling apart. And if that wasn't complicated enough, the emotional emptiness in the home created a space someone else quietly stepped into. Marcus Anderson, the man who's been close to Meghan for years. The shadow always somewhere behind her. According to people inside their home, Marcus has taken on roles that don't belong to him, roles that belong to parents. Sources say Marcus is often the one talking to the children, comforting them, playing with them. He's the gentle presence, the steady voice, the calm in the chaos. And while that might sound sweet on the surface, insiders say it raises painful questions. Why is he the one filling Meghan's place? Why does she lean on him emotionally? Why does she appear calmer when he's around? People whisper that he anchors her, especially when she's drinking or when things with Harry get tense. He's become her emotional safety net, her quiet refuge, the person she trusts when everything else feels unstable. But Meghan's struggles didn't just affect her relationships, they changed the way she lives. While the public imagines her strolling the Montecito estate, gardening, writing projects, living the dream, insiders say she's actually been spending more time in a private LA condo, a hidden escape, a second life away from Harry, the kids, the pressure, the expectations. In that condo, she feels free from Harry's coldness, free from judgment, free from the tension that suffocates their Montecito home. But with every escape she takes, the distance at home widens. Harry notices. The staff notices. Even the children notice. It's not just another property, it's another life she disappears into. And now, with Meghan's situation impossible to ignore, the whispering inside her circle has turned into urgency. If she won't get help, then what happens next? If both parents are slipping, who steps in for the children? If her drinking worsens, will someone intervene formally? People are now murmuring about welfare checks, intervention, and the frightening possibilities if things continue spiraling. Harry's silence only complicates everything. He's physically present but emotionally disconnected, floating in and out, weighed down by his own issues, too exhausted or too lost to confront what's happening. Meanwhile, the children are stuck in the middle, too young to understand, yet old enough to feel the tension, the absence, the emotional chaos surrounding them. Insiders fear the family has reached a breaking point. A moment where something must change, because if it doesn't, everything may collapse at once. And now, with everything hanging by a thread, those close to Meghan say the atmosphere around her feels like a storm that's about to break. The tension is so thick that even people outside the inner circle can sense something big is coming, something no one will be able to hide behind palace mysteries or Hollywood gloss. Meghan is slipping deeper into her habits, Harry is drifting further into silence, and the children are caught in a home that feels less like a sanctuary and more like a slow-burning fuse. People whisper that this is the moment where the family either pulls together or completely shatters. Some insiders fear the next headlines won't be about new projects or appearances, but about intervention, separation, or heartbreaking consequences no one wants to imagine. The quiet panic in her circle is growing because everyone knows that once the truth becomes too loud, the world will hear it. Meghan's private battles, the hidden condo, the emotional distance, the unraveling marriage, all of it is inching toward a point of no return. And as the walls close in, one question remains. Will she finally face the truth, or will everything collapse before she even realizes she's out of time?